We never asked her to sit and learn any of the idioms or phrases or anything.
I think parents are not aware of certain things that are actually the law for to actually support child or children.
I don't like that kind of arrangement. It makes me feel like I'm boxed in and I don't have any freedom.
അപ്പോൾ ഇത് കണ്ടപ്പോഴേ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു എന്തായാലും നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വിടുന്നില്ല, ഒരിടത്തും വിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ വി ആർ നോട്ട്. യു കെയിലായിരുന്നു ഞങ്ങൾ. അപ്പോൾ അവിടുന്ന് ഇപ്പോൾ കെൻഡ്ര എനിക്ക് വന്ന് 10 മാസമുള്ളപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും വി കെയിം ഹിയർ ബാംഗ്ലൂർ. എന്നിട്ട് അവിടെ ഏകദേശം ഒരു വയസ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും നമ്മൾ കേരളത്തിലോട്ട് പോയി. ഷീബയുടെ ഒരു ട്രീറ്റ്മെൻറ്റിന് വേണ്ടി പോയി. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ അത് കുറച്ച് നാൾ പ്രൊലോങ് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പം കെൻഡ്ര ഇങ്ങനെ അതൊക്കെ ഗ്രോയിങ് അപ്പ് ഏജ് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് കുറച്ച് പിള്ളേരുമായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട്, പക്ഷെ അതിന് മുമ്പെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇവിടെ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ബാംഗ്ലൂർ ആദ്യമേ ഒരു സ്കൂളിൽ പോയിട്ട് നോക്കി. ഇവിടെ ഒരു ഇതിൽ പോയിട്ട്, കാരണം നമ്മൾ യു കെയിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഈ ബേബി സിറ്റിംഗ് അല്ല, ഈ ചെറിയ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള സ്കൂൾസ് ഉണ്ട് അവിടെ. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ പോയി നമ്മൾ കണ്ടിരുന്നു കെൻഡ്രയെ വിടണോ വേണ്ടോ നോക്കി. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മളവിടെ ചെല്ലുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് അവർ കാണിച്ചു തന്നിട്ട് പറയും ഇത് സാൻഡ് പിറ്റ്, ഇത് എന്തോന്ന് വാട്ടർ സംതിങ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് കുറേ സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ കാണിച്ചു തന്നു. ഇവിടെ ആയിരിക്കും കുട്ടി വെള്ളമായിട്ട് കളിക്കുന്നത്, ഇവിടെ മണ്ണെടുത്ത് കളിക്കും എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ് കുറേ ഏരിയയൊക്കെ കണ്ടു തന്നു. പിന്നെ കുറേ ടോയ്സിൻ്റെ സാധനങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുള്ള ഏരിയാസ് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഓർമ്മയിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ബാംഗ്ലൂർ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മളിവിടെ കുറച്ചൊരു 2 കിലോമീറ്റർ അപ്പുറത്തുള്ള ഒരു യൂറോ ക്വിഡ്സ് ആണ്, ഏതോ ഒരു ഇതിൽ പോയി. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ചെന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് നമ്മൾ ജസ്റ്റ് എൻക്വയർ ചെയ്തു. കൊച്ച് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു 2 ഇയേഴ്സോ ആ ഒരു ഏജിൽ. അപ്പോൾ അവർ ഒരു 5 പുസ്തകം എടുത്തു തന്നു. ഇതാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ പിള്ളേർക്ക് കവർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഈ ഒരു ഏജിലുള്ള. എന്തോന്നാണ് 4 സീസൺസ്, പിന്നെ ഇന്ത്യൻ ഫ്ലാഗിനെ പറ്റിയുള്ളൊരു സാധനം, പിന്നെ അങ്ങനെ കുറേ സാധനങ്ങൾ. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് കണ്ടപ്പോഴേ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു എന്തായാലും നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വിടുന്നില്ല, ഒരിടത്തും വിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ വി ആർ നോട്ട് ക്ലിയർ. കാരണം 4 സീസൺസ് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ക്ലിയർ അല്ല. നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഈ 4 സീസൺസ് ഉള്ളത് വി വർ നോട്ട് ഏബിൾ ടു ഡിസ്റ്റിങ്വിഷ്. ഇപ്പോൾ യു കെയിലാണെങ്കിൽ യു ക്യാൻ സീ ആക്ച്വലി സ്പ്രിങ്, ഓട്ടം ഓരോന്നും കൃത്യമായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് നേച്ചുറൽ കാണാം. അതുകൊണ്ട് അത് കാര്യമുണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മളെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് എപ്പോഴും, ഇപ്പോൾ കേരളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ മിക്കവാറും എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും മഴയുണ്ടാവും എന്ന് പറയുന്നൊരു നമുക്ക് ഭയങ്കര വിസിബിൾ ഡിഫറൻസിൽ ആകെയുള്ളൊരു ചൂടോ കാലമോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മഴക്കാലം മഴയില്ലാത്ത കാലം എന്ന് മാത്രമേ എനിക്ക് പറയാനേ ഉള്ളൂ. അതുപോലും നമുക്ക് ക്ലിയർ അല്ല ഇവിടുത്തെ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മളപ്പം അത് വേണ്ടാന്ന് വെക്കുന്നത്. പിന്നീട് കേരളത്തിലേക്ക് മൂവ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഇവർക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു എൻഗേജ്മെൻറ്റ് വേണമല്ലോ എന്ന് ഓർത്തിട്ട്, അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ താമസിക്കുന്നതിനുള്ളൊരു 500 മീറ്റർ അപ്പുറത്തൊരു അംഗൻവാടി ഉണ്ട്. എന്നാൽ പിന്നെ അവിടെ കൊണ്ടുപോയി ഇറക്കാമെന്ന് വെച്ചു. അവിടെ ചെന്ന് പോയി. അവളപ്പം കുറച്ച് ദിവസമൊക്കെ പോയി, എനിക്കൊന്ന് 1 മാസം പോയെന്ന് ഐ എം നോട്ട് ഷുവർ. പോയി അവൾ ആദ്യമൊക്കെ വലിയ ഖുഷിയായിരുന്നു, കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല, പിള്ളേരുമായിട്ടൊക്കെ ഇൻട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടാവും. പിന്നെ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരു ദിവസം വന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഐ എം നോട്ട് ഗോയിങ്. നിങ്ങൾ ചോദിച്ചാൽ എന്താ കാര്യം? ആ ടീച്ചർ ശരിയല്ല. അപ്പോൾ ആ ടീച്ചർ പിള്ളേരെ വഴക്ക് പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് അതിനകത്ത് കാര്യമില്ലാതെ വഴക്ക് പറയുന്നത്. ഇവിടെ അല്ല വഴക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു, വേറെ ആരെയോ വഴക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ പറഞ്ഞു ഒരു വഴക്ക് പറയുന്നത് ശരിയല്ല, ആ ടീച്ചർ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ എന്നാൽ പോകണ്ട എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് നമ്മളവിടെ നിന്ന് നിർത്തി, അങ്ങനെ നിർത്തുമായിരുന്നു ചെയ്തത്. പിന്നീട് എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ഈ പലതരത്തിലുള്ള നമ്മുടെ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ട്രെയിനിങ്സ് നടത്താറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു പല സ്കൂൾസിലും. അപ്പോൾ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഇവിടെയും കൂടെ കൊണ്ടുപോകും. അപ്പോൾ ഇവള് ഇങ്ങനെ സ്കൂളിൻ്റെ എൻവയോൺമെൻറ്റൊക്കെ ഇവള് കാണാറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പം നമ്മളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചപ്പോൾ സ്കൂൾസിൽ പേരൻസുമായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടാവാറുണ്ട്, സ്റ്റുഡൻസുമായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടാവാറുണ്ട്, ടീച്ചേഴ്സുമായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഈ പല സ്കൂളിലും ഈ ടീച്ചേഴ്സും സ്റ്റുഡൻസും തമ്മിലുള്ള ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻ നമ്മൾ കാണുമ്പോൾ നമുക്കൊരു അയ്യേ എന്ന് തോന്നാറുണ്ട്. ഇവരുപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഇതെല്ലാം ഭയങ്കര ഒരു നമ്മൾ കൾച്ചറായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ തീരുമാനിച്ചാൽ എന്തായാലും ഈ പണ്ടാരം പരിപാടിക്ക് പോകുന്നില്ല. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ആക്ച്വലി വി ഡിസൈഡഡ്. അപ്പം തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും മറ്റുള്ളവരൊക്കെ ചോദിക്കുക എന്താ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വിടും എന്നുള്ളതല്ലാതെ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ ആക്ച്വലി സോ കോൾഡ് ഹോം സ്കൂളിംഗ് എന്ന് പേരൊന്നും പറയാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല, സ്കൂളിൽ വിടണ്ടെന്ന് ചോദിക്കും. ദാറ്റ്സ് ദ തിങ്, സ്കൂളിൽ എന്തായാലും വിടണ്ടെന്ന് വെച്ചു. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ഇത് കുറേ നാൾ ആ രീതിയിൽ അങ്ങ് മൂവ് ചെയ്തു. പിന്നെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഞങ്ങൾ അറിഞ്ഞു വേറെ ഒരു പാഠശാല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു സ്കൂളുണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ അവിടുത്തെ കുറച്ച് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ്, പക്ഷെ അത് നമ്മൾ കുറച്ച് അത്യാവശ്യം ദൂരമുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ വൺസ് ഇൻ എ വീക്ക് അവിടെ വിടായിരുന്നു. അവരുടെ ഒരു പ്ലേ ടൈമിൽ പോകും. അപ്പോൾ അവരവിടെ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ലിഷേർലിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അവർക്ക് പോകാനും ഇഷ്ടമായിരുന്നു. കുറച്ച് അവിടെ പോയി. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ അങ്ങനെ കുറച്ച് നാൾ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ അപ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മൾ എനിക്കൊന്ന് ഈ കോവിഡൊക്കെ വരുന്നത് ആ സമയത്ത്. അപ്പം ഇതെല്ലാം ഇതായി. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ കുറച്ച് നാൾ ഓൺലൈൻ ഇതിലായിരുന്നു പാഠശാലയുടെ. അപ്പോൾ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഷിഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ആ ഷിഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട സമയത്ത് എന്തോ ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് ഇരുന്നപ്പോഴത്തേക്കാണ് ഹാഷ് ഫീച്ചർ സ്കൂൾ തുടങ്ങുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ഏതൊരു ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ നമ്മൾ മെസ്സേജ് ഇട്ടപ്പോഴത്തേക്കാണ് എന്നോട് ഷിഹാബുദ്ദീൻ പറയുന്നത് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇതുണ്ടെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ. ഞാൻ എൻക്വയറി ചെയ്തപ്പം ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ ഓർത്തപ്പം നമ്മളങ്ങനെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഭയങ്കര എക്സ്പെക്റ്റേഷനോ അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല. നമ്മളെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് ഈ റെഗുലർ അലവല്ലാതെ പരിപാടികളൊന്നും പാടില്ല. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ മെയിൻ തിങ്. പിന്നെ നമുക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ഇവളുടെ കൂടെ ഇരിക്കാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇവൾക്ക് കുറച്ച് നേരം എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ആയിട്ടിരുന്നോട്ടെ എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലായിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഹാർട്ട് ഫ്യൂച്ചർ സ്കൂളുമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ അസോസിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്.
ഞാൻ ജസ്റ്റ് വൺ തിങ് ആണ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പം ഞങ്ങളിപ്പം ഇഫ് കെൻഡ്ര വാസ് മിസ്ബിഹേവിങ്, അപ്പം ഇവളോട് ഒരു കാര്യം മാത്രമേ പറയേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ലായിരുന്നു, നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇയർ ഓൺവേർഡ്സ് യു ഗോയിങ് ടു സ്കൂൾ. അപ്പം ഐ തിങ്ക് ഇൻ മെനി വേസ് ഷീ ആക്ച്വലി ഹേറ്റഡ് സ്കൂൾ. അത് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ഇപ്പം ഷീ വാസ് സീയിങ്, അപ്പം നമ്മളിപ്പം പ്രോഗ്രാംസിന് വേണ്ടി സ്കൂളിൽ പൊയ്ക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നപ്പോഴത്തേനും ആ ഒരു ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻ ഐ തിങ്ക് ഒരു ഇറ്റ് ക്രിയേറ്റഡ് എ നെഗറ്റീവ് ഇമ്പാക്റ്റ് ഓൺ ഹർ. So she was very happy if she was actually taking class, but she didn't want to sit in class. അപ്പം ആ ഒരു സാധനം ഭയങ്കര എവിഡൻ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഐ തിങ്ക്, ആൻഡ് വി ഹവ് നെവർ ആസ്ക്ഡ് ഹർ ടു സിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് സ്റ്റഡി. ബേസിക്കലി ഇപ്പം ഹർ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഓർ വാട്ട് എവർ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ്, ഷീ ഹസ് ഡൺ ഇറ്റ് മോസ്റ്റ്ലി ഹർ സെൽഫ്. ഷീ ഹസ് ലേൺ ദാറ്റ് ഹർ സെൽഫ്. നമ്മളങ്ങനെ we have not been there to actually teach her, because one thing is that I think as parents we have our own importances, so that we tend to thrust on our children. So I don't think we have done that with Kendra. She has had her freedom. Yes, we do.
നമുക്കൊരു ഹോം സ്കൂളിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നില്ല. കാരണം സ്കൂളിംഗ് എന്നുള്ളൊരു സാധനം നമ്മളൊരുമാതിരി ഇങ്ങനെ അഴിച്ചു വിടുമെന്ന് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ഇതൊന്നുമില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അവൾക്ക് ടി വി കാണണമെങ്കിൽ ടി വി കാണും, പറഞ്ഞു ചോദിക്കും എന്നുള്ളതല്ലാതെ കൃത്യം ഇന്ന് ഇപ്പം നീ ഈ 8ന്റെ ഗുണപ്പെട്ട മേടിക്കണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരു ചിലർ ഈ ഹോം സ്കൂളിംഗ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് സ്കൂളിനെ ഹോമിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടിരുന്ന പരിപാടിയുണ്ട്. അതും നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. എന്നാൽ ചിലർ ഇങ്ങനെ ചില തീം ഓറിയൻറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള, ഒരു രീതിയിൽ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഫോക്കസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ലേണിംഗ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കേസിൽ സംഭവിച്ചിട്ടില്ല.
പിന്നെ കുറച്ച് ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇവിടെ മ്യൂസിക്കിന് വിടുകയാണ്. പക്ഷേ
overboard.
Oh, we did go overboard. I won't say overboard. I mean, like
9 things in 1 week. There's only 7 days a week.
9 things. What are the 9 things?
I can list them out.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
Let me see.
Karate.
Yeah.
Before that there was kung fu.
Okay. Slow. So it's actually either kung fu or karate. So it's a one thing, right?
Still a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there was still a lot of things.
What are the things? Please list.
Karate. Music there was every single day except the weekends.
Okay.
Then there was piano.
Okay.
Skating.
Yeah.
that all would be one day, no?
Yeah, there's still a lot of things for a Saturday.
Oh.
There was violin. Then
But all this you don't go at the same time.
it's still in 1 week.
You didn't go at the same
I
time.
didn't get a break.
So that was the only thing actually, music.
Yeah.
Because I think she has got musical ability, but I think one of the reasons why we did catch her with music was that somewhere in some way I think because she has never had any consequences. She decided to do something, like she wanted at one point of time she wanted to breed ants. So we had one room where she would have mud in the thing and you had ants, and people would come home and say what the hell, because our രീതിയിലായിരുന്നു. that was the way she was. So we have never said okay fine, no, this is this. And so I think in some way when we sent her for music, it was I think in a way when we told her practice or whatever it was trying to get her into that.
No, it's not that. There's too many things and I was getting overwhelmed by okay, you have to do this, you have to do this, do.
That was according to you, but according to us we needed you when we told you to practice or whatever it was.
Even if I did practice, you wouldn't listen, so you will ask me to practice again.
Yeah, at times we needed to listen to that as well. So yeah. That was one. That is the only area I think where when we, I won't say even that was not strict. I don't know, Ashana. She had classes once a week, and we would hardly listen to her practice. Sapan dorkum. 10 minute practice, and അത് 10 minute പറഞ്ഞാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലും practicing will be at her own sweet time. probably at 9 o'clock at night or whatever it is. But I think that was the only place where we have actually told her, you need to practice. And yeah, that was about, I mean, like, the rest of it was her own decisions, her own way of going with things, as I said. And Sengi ants. So I mean, we're not told her this is not possible or this is impossible, or so that is one thing that was there.
Uh, well, I didn't hate school because I saw the environment. It was mainly because whenever I talked to my cousins or kids around my house that time, they would always say, "Oh, this school is so bad. The teacher's giving me homework on a Saturday. The teacher was yelling at me." All this stuff. I'm still hearing it from my cousin. She'll complain the teacher made me cut my nails because it's too long. So because of that, I've like grew a negative feeling towards school, and I feel like I've always had that negative feel. If personally, I want an environment where I am allowed to be myself. I don't want someone telling, okay, this is sharp 8 o'clock, you have to go do that class. When that finishes, you have to go right down to your next class. I don't like that kind of a arrangement. It makes me feel like I'm boxed in and I don't have any freedom. So here, I actually have my textbooks, and maybe if they are free, I'll ask them, hey, can you help me with this subject? If not, I'll go and do it myself. So I have that freedom to choose, like, okay, I want to do this subject today, not that subject. I want to do this subject at this time. And I want that freedom as my environment. With Hashway School, it was free while being a little strict. They would have timetable like this time you'll have assembly, this time you'll have your first session, this time you'll have your second session. But in those sessions, except the assembly, there wasn't really a timetable. So it has like assembly has a fixed time schedule, but the rest of the two session doesn't have a fixed time schedule. Like in the first session, for the first 15 minutes, we'll just go on talking about our day, what we did. Maybe if we had class the day before, we'll be talking about what we did that day. But after that, we'll be slowly starting into our assignments. But the teacher won't go like, okay guys, this is the assignment today. She'll start talking subject related to that topic. Then she'll say, okay, this is the topic. We'll talk about it a little more before going fully into it. I felt like that was very fun. It is interactive as well. We would sometimes have group projects and it would get really competitive. But in the end, everyone wins. So it was kind of a disappointment only because everyone wins even if one team didn't do anything. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, one thing I noticed is actually I attended some of the parent sessions or the open sessions. In that, actually, students' presentations were there, and actually, I didn't know actually Kendra was able to articulate or present that well till I actually attended some of the open houses. Actually, she articulate well. Sentence construction is really good, and even now, actually, I'm just actually looking and
Yeah.
wondering the way she is speaking actually. Because normally when we speak, actually, we don't we casually speak only. So, but here actually now, if you observe the way she speaks, actually, she's out of the box. I'm putting into a box. All those things actually, we never asked her to sit and learn any of the idioms or phrases or anything. All those things actually she picked up herself, and she's able to express it well. And that actually, those things actually I noticed, and also her presentations. Actually, she put some of the presentations really well. So I wonder actually, it's like that's good actually. So those are the things I noticed.
Yeah, just that, because I think when, as a parent, when you look at kids, okay, you are quite mesmerized when they come up, when you do not have any kind of formal training to do certain things. Like if you're in school, there is say there's elocution, there's debates, or whatever it is. So you tend to become a little more articulate when especially when you've got a lot more children. But here, I mean, like, you have got a little group, and with that group, wherein you've not formally trained to do that, and it was quite amazing that she did it, and we were like, oh, not bad. So that was there.
The main difference I noticed is having my amazing friends. We talk every day, even if half of us left the school, we're still talking with each other, and I think that's a really great thing. Like the school has made us grow all together, and we have such a great bond.
One thing actually, we faced only lesser questions compared to others, because I was always marked as a black sheep. So people normally don't ask us directly. Even my relatives or anything, he's like that. So that image is already there. So nobody must bothered. The only thing actually is actually people used to ask our friends why they are like that. That is the thing. They don't have the courage to ask us directly. That was the thing actually. Nobody come directly in conflict with us. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was always
Nobody
like,
asked.
um, neighbors or whoever it was would ask our friends, why are they not sending their child to school? Why are they not following the normal thing? So it was like, we used to tell them, why don't you ask them to come directly to us? So it was like, oh, no, no, they will not come directly to you. So that was very thing. People have asked us, I mean, like, for them to find, actually, Subin is a little more difficult. They'll come and ask, why didn't you send your child to school? And I was like, because one thing that I did notice, but Kendra would ask a lot of questions. And when I say a lot of questions, it is like, you finish one question, now you give an answer, the next question will come. So the next question, then the next question. So I've had one of Subin's cousins, and he was driving us somewhere, and he sat there and he's looking at me. How do you have the patience to answer so many questions, man? Because I think it was about a 45 minutes to 1 hour drive, and continuous. This one was like one after the other, and she was about 2 or 3 years old. So and he was like, because I'm listening to this, I'm getting irritated. So I said, see, that is the way kids are. The kids are supposed to ask you questions. But one thing that I have noticed is, like, she even now asks questions. So, but a child that goes to school normally, very rarely do they ask questions. It is like, question is taboo. So that is one thing, and I think uh, I don't want her to stop asking questions. I want her to ask questions. I mean, I won't have the answer for everything, because sometimes I tell her, just Google it, or go to Chat GPT, and I will not have all the answers. So that is one thing, and the second thing is, like, um, in school there's categorization, and she has never learned categorization. It is like, you're not supposed to talk to a boy, you're not supposed to talk to a girl, or the other thing that I've noticed in school is that it doesn't matter which school it is. Like, now she's volunteering with a deaf school. They also, first thing they will ask you is, like, what is the religion? Again, I mean, I am not comfortable with that question, because I do not want that categorization. And because I think that when you have categorization, there's a lot of disharmony that is created. And so that was there. And again, because we have not sent her to school, she doesn't mind sharing her stuff. Like, we're traveling by train, and we were traveling by train, and we were waiting for the train, and there were a lot of kids around, and she's got some chocolates or something like that. And she said, can I give them? She asked us. So I said, you can give them, but it's not necessary they take it from you. And so she asked why. So I said, see, that is the way most kids are taught. Don't take things from others, or, like, but you can give, you can see if they will accept it. If they don't have to accept it, make sure that you're not sad or whatever it is. So I think that is one thing that was there. Major difference, if I'm going to say. and it was quite amazing actually when those things actually play in front of you. Yeah.
I think I just like to add one more thing. We are not following any of the religion. Parents are following, but we are not following. So one way actually you get social interaction is mainly through these religious gatherings, and they only prompt, why are you not sending there? So that question out of the box, like no connection there. Then the relative part. For me, actually, my father was a single child, so there is no first cousins as it is from the father's side. So that also is not there. Only distance relative are there basically. So nobody has the power to ask authoritatively, why are you not doing this? That is one of the reasons that so overseas spiritual case in that way. So
Yeah,
these two
even they
things are
don't.
just actually helped us. Yeah.
I get two types of questions. The first one is mainly from parents, grandparents, or caregivers. They're like, "Oh, why don't you like school? Why don't you want to go to school?" Basically, the extensions of those questions. They'll be like, "Oh, then how are you gonna write your board exam? How will you get a job? Where are you gonna go?" Those questions. So I'll tell them that I'm writing and it's certified, so I can get a job or go to universities and stuff. The second is usually from kids around my age. They're always like, "Oh, you don't have exams. Oh my god, you don't go to school. That's so lucky. I want to join with you." So those are the two main types of questions I get asked.
Yeah, the board exam is one thing that most people ask. How are you going to manage? Is an iOS recognized, or will she be able to go to a university, or those kind of things. So I mean, we do answer. I mean, an iOS is recognized, and I think also I think there's a law, isn't it? Like you're not any educational institution is not allowed to ban a child from learning, or so we do tell them that. And I don't think that most parents know about it. I think that is it is um, I think parents are not aware of certain things that are actually the law for to actually support child or children. So I think that those kind of things actually need to be brought forward and actually be presented to people, because most often I think parents are not aware that homeschooling or alternate education is possible, because what is given to them is only mainstream education. So they don't think that there is a way out.
So I go for volunteering in an NGO called the Inclusion Movement. I volunteer with deaf kids at a deaf school. We go there on every Saturday and we help them improve their English and social behavior. But most people ask me, "Oh, what are you teaching them?" But I don't really have an answer for it because I'm not the one teaching them. They are the one always teaching me. If I go there and I spell out a word instead of using the proper sign, they'll tell me, "Oh, that's not, this is the sign for it. Like, this is play." So, every time I go there, they're teaching me instead of me teaching them. And it's a really fun experience. I also do taekwondo. I am currently a red black. I'll probably get my red black belt around next year, summer vacation time. I've been doing taekwondo for 3 years about now. I also started going for aerobics recently. Right now it's paused due to, I forgot what thing was it.
Yeah, exams.
No,
Dasara.
Desra.
Oh yeah.
Because of that, it's like they say it's gonna start from October first week. So yeah.
And also you are actually helping novel uploading the
Yeah,
this one.
I also do profiles. I help my parents' friends with his website. I upload the profiles into it.
And you are getting paid for that,
Yeah,
and you bought
most
phone.
So
important thing.
I get paid for that. Yeah,
And what you bought with that money, that also
a
you can
lot
say.
of stuff. Recently, I bought my new phone. I ordered a lot of stuff. There's too much to go on about. Okay, I bought some shoes, clothes.
Even this shelf, I think she bought
Yeah.
with her money. This.
No, you said to save up and buy later.
Okay.
So I bought a like clothes organizer, a shoe rack, just things that are going to make my life around easier to organize. I don't know.
When we know that actually exam is coming and there is not much time, we notice their concern in us actually.
Yeah.
Then actually we will tell actually, if you all the time look at the reels and all those things, how are you going to write the exam? This I used to tell. And then actually at the same time I had that is the maximum actually. She will fail the exam, she will have to do again. So that is the maximum, and we are ready for that if that happens. But still, once in a while, we used to tell her.
I do their laundry. They'll tell me, go put out the laundry. Yesterday they told me to put the clothes on the rack, like late at night. They always do their stuff at the most weirdest hours. Like at 10 o'clock at night, they'll go tell me, can you wash this cup at 10? But my grandma closes the kitchen around 9:30. So if I go down, I'm gonna get the yelling, not them. So I always avoid doing their chores. But I do my own chores. Like I go.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she also cooks actually. Like actually, if she
Yeah.
wants something, actually she goes and goes to the
Yeah.
kitchen, prepare her own.
I often go.
Especially the simple things.
Yeah.
Because I think we had taught her to actually get onto the gas a long time back. So I think especially like, when you've got elderly parents at home, they're very thing. So it's quite difficult to actually explain to someone else, like, they need their independence as well. Because they're like, no, she's too young, or she's too, you have got to be there to look up. And we're like, you don't have to be there to look. She's been taught the safety, she's been taught how to do it. So she will manage. So, I mean, like, but it is for other people. It is quite difficult for them to understand that, giving freedom at such a young age, for them, it is like, it is a taboo. But for us, it was like, she's gaining her independence. And we do not have to be there to do everything for her. So one thing about, what we tell her is that it's not that we are not worried or whatever it is. Worry is always there. As a parent, worry is always there. But she needs to be able to survive even if we are not there. So that is one thing that I think is very important actually, because they should be able to take their own decisions. Because if you ask me, sometimes for me it is very difficult to make a decision. I'm like, oh God, will if I make this decision, what will be the effect of that? Or will it be acceptable? Will it not be acceptable? So for me, all that goes. If we tell her to do something, she'll go and do it, and then it is like, okay, and we're like, okay. So that is where it stays actually. Um, so that's, yeah, she does most of the things that her thing. But sometimes we see something that has not been done for a long period of time, and sometimes you've got to tell her for months, uh, on end, Kendra, 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 Kendra. And she's like, I will do it, I will do it, I will do it. And it'll go on and on and on and on. And then finally, I think we do put the brakes on. But even if we put the brakes on, I don't think she kind of, the brakes are put, but she'll go, yeah, I'll do it. And the brake will extend.
I learned it from the best.
Yeah, this is always there. It is always, it's not my responsibility. It's always,
You guys are my parents. I learned from you guys.
we tell you, no, don't follow your parents, man.
Currently, my future plans are to follow psychology. I want to become a clinical psychologist. I want to help people with their mental health, because I've always noticed that people always stress about their physical health. But the main thing to make your physical health better is your mental health. Your mental health is the thing you have to actually fix before you fix anything else. So I want to help people fix their mental health so that I can fix even more people. I can take the learnings I get from one person and use it on another person who's having a same issue.
One thing actually, earlier we used to travel quite often, like actually Bangalore, Kerala, Bangalore, Kerala. So that time actually we don't have to worry whether it's a school vacation or not. So we can simply go anytime. It's like if I want to go now, I can go now. Just get ready, go. So we don't. That restriction was not there, and actually it's like we shifted from Kerala to Bangalore. So that also actually it was just we moved the things here and done. If we as like maybe another year actually if we have to shift from here to some other place, then also it will not be an issue
Freedom.
because we don't have to worry. Okay, which school we will enroll her there. Those things are not there in mind. Those are restrictive things. That is one thing mainly. Uh,
And I think it gives us a lot more time
yeah.
to do things. You're not restricted because, say, a school-going person, your time is very restricted. I think even for a child it is restricted because you have, what do you call that? You have a set time to go to school. Then you have a set time for tuitions. You have a set time for um, activities or whatever it is. But as far as they are concerned, they do not have that set time. So the whole day is theirs to actually organize or disorganize according to their liking and not liking. So I think one very fundamental thing is time. And I think there's a lot more interaction as well because um,
Yeah, parent-child interaction is more
Yeah.
and more friendly basically. Here actually she can mock us, like all those things are there.
yeah,
It's
as
like,
you saw. So that is there.
and it is not around the studies only. It's like if it is a school-going student, then we will be asking again, how was your school? What are the grades? Like when is the exam? So we have actually general other topics to discuss. And also it's like we are also for when we look at us actually, it is actually less stressful for us. Otherwise, actually you will be worried. Okay, she got this grade, the other person got that grade. All those worries are there, and it's a constant thing.
Yeah,
Actually.
the
So because
rat race is
every
not
other day exam is there, not just 3 exams. I don't know how many exams are there in school now.
rat race is not there. And I think there's a lot of no stress because it is like your child gets less marks, so you've got to go to school. You've got to, be answerable for that. Um, so that is also not there. So I think, actually speaking, there's, not just time. I think the interpersonal relationship in the family is much more better than when I think
Yeah.
it is with school going stuff, because I think if you child gets less mark, then there's always a rift between the parents as well. Oh, he or she is not studying properly, so you are responsible. No, you are responsible, you should have done that. That is not there. So I think that is also there, that relationship is also there.
If you look at the present school curriculum, I don't understand actually why these things are there in the curriculum. Because most of the things actually are not going to use or to be of any use to anybody in the future. What if you look at a textbook actually, what you are learning is basically you don't understand actually what you are learning. There is no way for you to see. You are just actually mugging up something from the book without really understanding what it is, without understanding why you should learn it, where it needs to be applied. So those things actually in practical it is of no use. If you need to go for a job, then you again need to be trained by those companies because you are not trained in that skill. But in Heart Future School or similar school, actually, you are gathering some skills which can be used in future and present. Whereas in actually school, you are learning something about the past that is no more use even now or later. Other than getting marks, I don't know whether it will help.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, like, because I think like in Hash Future School, you had web designing, then you had various activities that actually help them use AI and things like that. So I think all that is very helpful these days, because I think as we're going forward, those are the things that are going to be working. So I think each and every child needs to have an idea of at least the basics of how a website is created, or how an AI program is run, or how to create programs, because I think those are the things that will be more effective in the future. Because if you go to see anything, you ask Google or ChatGPT, it'll give you the whole list. But you actually need to know how this works, so that even if it is, you need to change something with that, you're able to do it according to your needs. So that is something I think that is very fundamental, because I don't think the world as we see it today is going to be there for a long period of time. Because if you go to see, even if you go see your cars or whatever it is going to be a lot more AI, a lot more of technology. So I think more children need to learn more of the technology. It is not going to help you to know what Akbar did when he was there, or Ashoka, because all that will be there, online. You at the tap of a few keys, you're getting all the information. I think even schools need to change that way, because you get what is at the present, and think about how you can advance it into the future for the benefit of people. So I think that is one thing that is done, that I think Hash Future School is doing as well.
One thing related to the curriculums of normal schools, I also noticed how all the things I learned is very useless. I often ask them like, what is the point of me learning this? What am I going to get out of this? I remember one time I was reading my sixth standard textbook, and there was a huge chapter about a random scrap they found in some place. It was history. I was asking why. What's the point of me learning what's the past behind this scrap? It's not gonna give me a degree. I'm not gonna learn anything because I know they're not gonna ask me, oh, what scrap did they find in here? They're not gonna ask me any of that in like a job interview. They're gonna ask me, do you know how to code? Do you know how a website works? They're gonna ask me those types of questions. So I agree that Harshit School, they give that kind of curriculum to you. They'll teach you how to code. They'll teach you how to create a website, a presentation, a document. I was recently asked by my super volunteer from volunteering to create a document and give it to her. I was able to give it because Harshit School taught us how to. They taught us how to create most of everything that people will ask you now. All the things I learned is very useless. I often ask them like, what is the point of me learning this? What am I going to get out of this? I remember one time I was reading my sixth standard textbook, and there was a huge chapter about a random scrap they found in some place. It was history. I was asking why. What's the point of me learning what's the past behind this scrap? It's not gonna give me a degree. I'm not gonna learn anything because I know they're not gonna ask me, oh, what scrap did they find in here? They're not gonna ask me any of that in like a job interview. They're gonna ask me, do you know how to code? Do you know how a website works? They're gonna ask me those types of questions. So I agree that Harshit School, they give that kind of curriculum to you. They'll teach you how to code. They'll teach you how to create a website, a presentation, a document. I was recently asked by my super volunteer from volunteering to create a document and give it to her. I was able to give it because Harshit School taught us how to. They taught us how to create most of everything that people will ask you now.
Notice it as parents, but there are a lot of things that these people, because when, as I said, we don't put much restrictions on Kendra, but the minimal restrictions that we put on her, she'll come out with, I'm not happy with it.
At least they'll express what they feel.
Yeah, and really, I mean, like, if you actually go to see, 90, say 97% of the time she does what she wants, and we only catch her that 3%, and that 3% as well, she's not happy with that. So it is like, when you told us about Akash, I can understand, because when what we are thinking about disciplining, We are thinking about getting them into the mainstream and things like that. But these people do not want to be mainstream. They want to have that freedom to actually decide where they're going, what they're doing. They want that. If you actually go to see from childhood, we were taught certain rules and regulations, and we most often conform to them even now, even though we know that okay fine, it may not be good. Yeah, but we are in that flow. And I think we haven't actually, most of us haven't broken away from that flow. We still are in that flow. So I think these people do not like that flow. So, I mean, they do not want to be conformed by those rituals. They do not want to be, like she said, cousin long nails. Yeah, when you're going to school, I can understand, because you tend to scratch people and all that stuff. So the school has got their own things. But as far as the child is concerned, he or she feels like, oh yeah, long nails, beautiful. I've taken time, to grow them out. I've taken time to shape them. I've taken time to paint them out. And you're asking me to cut it. To them, it is like, what do you say? The worst crime possible. So, yes, I do understand, but I think we need to understand where the thoughts of the kids as well, because we are more adult concentrated. We are not concentrated about children. We are like, okay, fine, they'll find their way. They'll do the things by themselves. But I think most often what we are doing is that we are molding them into the little mini us. And yeah.
Even Akash പറഞ്ഞൊരു point ഉണ്ട്. Normal schools comes with statement. Okay, they always have some statement. You have to follow that statement or rules or something like that. But here we have conversations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Statements you can have conversation and you can come up with your own reflections or understanding from that.
Yeah, that is there, because I think in normal schools you've got to conform. You're not, as I said, you're not allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to ask questions. If you're allowed to ask questions, they'll tell you shut up and sit there. And that's about it. So I think, so I said, she asks questions. Even now she asks questions. And sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, it's there. For us as well, it is quite a thing. And they come out with weird questions, and you're like, sorry. So I think in school that instinct to actually question is killed. So that is one thing. And I think the more you question is when you grow. The more questions you have, the more growth. Because I think when you question, your tendency to find answers is also there. So I think that is lost in when you go to a proper school.